Hi everyone, and welcome to our informational webinar, How to Apply to Teach in the USA with EPI. My name is Jessica and I work as a content coordinator for EPI. I am from the mountains of North Carolina, and before working for EPI, I taught English at the community college level. Today I will be talking with you about EPI's application process and answer any questions that you might have. You can use the comment box to ask us questions, and at the end of the presentation, I will answer any of the questions that you have left there. Please keep in mind that we won't be able to answer questions about your specific application for privacy reasons. All of those questions should be emailed to team@teachwithepi.com, where one of our trained admissions specialists will be able to assist you. So today we will be talking about how to apply to teach in the U.S. with Educational Partners International. During this webinar, we will be going over how to start your application and what documents you will need for it. We will also explain the purpose of the application and give you some tips that will make the process go as quickly as possible. So if you're joining us for the first time, we are Educational Partners International, or EPI for short, and we are a cultural exchange program that brings international teachers to teach in K-12 schools in the United States. We are so dedicated to facilitating cultural exchange in the United States because EPI believes sharing knowledge across cultures and venues improves understanding among teachers, students, administrators, and members of the communities in which we live. This is our core mission here at EPI, to help exchange knowledge and information between cultures so that we can understand each other better and work together to create a global community. So Educational Partners International is an exchange visitor program authorized to sponsor teachers for K-12 placement in public, private, and charter schools in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and Florida. We place teachers in all subjects taught in K-12 schools, so that means not only foreign languages and English as a second language, but also math, science, art, special education, elementary education, and many more. While we work with schools across the southern United States, our home office is in North Carolina, which is about where the marker is on the map on your screen. We would love to know where all of you are from too today, so please take the time and tell us in the comments. So now that you have some background on who we are and it is important to understand EPI's process. Our process for bringing teachers like you to the United States looks like this. First, you complete an application so that we know that you are eligible for our program and will be a strong candidate for cultural exchange. The application process includes filling out a thorough online form, uploading official documents, and 2 interviews with EPI team members. After you've completed the application process, you are moved to the approved stage where you interview at one of our partnered schools. Once you complete a successful school interview, you are placed in the school and become an official EPI teacher. So let's take a closer look at the first step, the application process. EPI's application is thorough, but it does a few important things for you. Filling out the application creates a professional profile for schools to look at when they are considering teachers for interviews. It also helps you collect the documents that you will need to get a visa, travel to the United States, and to get a teaching license. Finally, we use the information you provide on the application to decide whether or not you meet our eligibility requirements. Some of the requirements for being an EPI teacher are that you are currently teaching, you have 2 years full-time teaching experience, and that you have the equivalent of a U.S. bachelor's degree. So now you have read about EPI and our requirements, and you have decided that you want to apply to teach in the USA. So how do you get started? Well, the first step is to go to our website, teachwithepi.com/teachers. Once you are there, you will scroll down until you see the orange button that says click here to apply. Then you will need to answer some questions about your eligibility. After you answer the questions and click the submit button, you will be able to make an account with your email address and start your application. Once you start your application, it is important that you prioritize completing your personal and professional profile as soon as possible so that you can quickly move to the next application stage. So EPI's application requires documentation to be sure that you are able to travel and teach in the United States. Here is a list of some of the documents you will need to upload to your application before you are eligible for school interviews. We ask for all pages of your passport, diploma, transcripts, criminal background checks, proof of employment, and a credential evaluation from an NACES approved company. If you have a valid driver's license and wish to drive in the United States, we will also ask for a copy of your driver's license, but driving is not a requirement for the program. When you are first starting your application, you should prioritize uploading the passport pages, diplomas, and transcripts because we will need these documents before we can invite you for interviews with EPI team members. Please keep in mind that the only place you should upload these documents is to the official EPI website, which is teachwithepi.com. To protect your privacy, you should never upload any of your documents to Facebook. We will not accept any of your documents through our Facebook page or messages. So one of the most common questions our candidates ask is how long does the process take? Our application includes processing all of your documents and 2 interviews with EPI team members. So how long it takes typically depends on how quickly you can collect and upload all the appropriate documents. Today we have some tips on what you can do to make sure the application process goes as quickly and smoothly as possible. The first step is to read all of our requirements before you apply. You can find our requirements at teachwithepi.com/teacher requirements. When completing the application, you will need to be sure to read and follow all directions carefully. You will also want to proofread all of your answers as any typos or mistakes made with spelling and dates can make the process take longer. You will also need to create your account with a valid email address and be sure that you are checking your email regularly. We will only be able to discuss your application through email, so it is important that you are looking for emails from EPI about your status. Today we would also like to show you a brief video of one of our teachers, Claudia, sharing her experience in the United States with EPI. After this video, we will be answering your questions in a live question and answer session. So here is Claudia's story.
Today is May 10. May 10 in Mexico, it's a really big celebration. It's Mother's Day, and for us, mothers are like the base of the family. So at school, what I try to do is just to share my culture and share the way we celebrate in Mexico here. The kids were really excited. They were happy to be able to sing to their moms. They were happy to be able to express their feelings. And for the American moms, they can learn about our culture, the way that we celebrate. I think every single mom liked and enjoyed this event. EPI, it's, for me, has made my dream come true. And I'm just really happy to be here. I'm really happy to be part of EPI, and I just hope that everybody joins us.
To hear more from our teachers, visit our Facebook page. We have posted several videos of our teachers talking about their cultural exchange experiences. We also post teacher stories on our website, teachwithepi.com. So now it's time for questions. I'm going to be answering any questions that you have left in the comments, so if you've not submitted them yet, please ask them now. We also invite you to tell us about yourself. We would love to know where you are from and what you are currently teaching. It looks like we have already heard from teachers from Jamaica, Colombia, India, Spain, and more today. And just whatever country that you're joining us from, thank you so much for being here. Okay, so our first question for today is actually a really common one. It is there an age limit? So no, there is no age limit to apply. As you saw on that requirements list, there are other requirements such as that you have been teaching for at least 2 years full time and that you have the equivalent of a U.S. bachelor's degree. But as long as you meet all of our basic requirements, you are welcome to apply regardless of your age. Our next question is a driver's license a requirement? So no, having a driver's license is not a requirement for the program. If you don't have a driver's license, it's important to understand that in the United States, not a lot of places have very strong public transportation systems. So you'll be kind of limited into where you will be able to be placed in the United States if you don't have a driver's license, because we don't want to place you anywhere that you won't be able to get around. But having a driver's license is not a requirement for our program. Okay, our next question is, in what states do you place teachers? And so we place teachers in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and Florida. Is there an application or a placement fee? So no, EPI does not charge an application or a placement fee. There are other costs associated with your application, such as you saw that list of documents. Some of those documents may cost you money to get. For example, your school might charge you to get your transcripts and diplomas, but EPI will never charge you for an application or a placement fee. Our next question is, when are the interviews, or when are the next interviews? I'm not 100% sure if this is referring to the EPI team interviews or the principal school interviews, because there are kind of two different interview phases. So in terms of the EPI team interviews, our team interviews candidates all year long. So as long as you have an active application in the system and you have those diplomas and transcripts, you will be able to, and you're eligible for the program, we will interview you as your applications come in. School interviews only happen during placement season. So placement season typically runs from April to August. If you're having questions about the 2019-2020 placement season and when that will end versus the 2020-2021 placement season and when that will begin, the best thing to do is to email our placement team, and you can contact them at team@teachwithepi.com. Okay, so our next question is how can I restart my application? So those of you who have not started your application yet may not understand this question. So to give you some context, while you're going through the application process, there may be a reason that you want to pause your application for, life circumstances, or if you are having a hard time getting your documents together or responding to our emails, we might pause your application. We call that putting your application on hold. So if your application is on hold, what you can do to restart your application and get it off hold is to email team@teachwithepi.com. And when you email them, the admissions team will review your application and let you know what you can do to take your application off of hold. Okay, our next question is how long does the program last? So that's a great question. Right now, EPI is a 3-year program. And it looks like we have time for just one more question today. And it looks like that question is, do you accept part-time teachers? So right now, all of our teachers, all of the EPI teachers live and teach in the United States full-time. And the reason for that is, as a cultural exchange program, we were really interested in bringing international teachers to the United States to be fully immersed in U.S. culture. So living and teaching here full-time is the best way to do that. We are also interested in the students in your American classrooms having the fully immersive experience of full-time interaction with an international teacher. So right now we do not have a part-time teaching program. Okay, that's our last question for today. If you did not get to ask your question, please go ahead and leave it in the comments. We will answer all remaining unanswered questions in the comments after the broadcast. So now that you know more about how to apply, let's talk about next steps. First, if you haven't yet, please go to teachwithepi.com and start your application. If you have applied but you have some questions about how to continue, email us at team@teachwithepi.com with your questions. Finally, go to teachwithepi.com/webinars to sign up for our future webinars and to watch all of our previously aired videos. So to finish off our presentation today, I would like to leave you with this quote as a reminder of why cultural exchange is so important and why we are so eager to bring teachers like you to the United States. J. William Fulbright was a U.S. Senator and the founder of the Fulbright program. He said, "The essence of intercultural education is the acquisition of empathy, the ability to see the world as others see it, and to allow for the possibility that others may see something that we have failed to see, or may see it more accurately." Here at EPI, we are dedicated to helping teachers like you come to the U.S. so that we may learn from each other's unique perspectives, just like Fulbright talks about here. Okay, that's all for today, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have any further questions, email us at team@teachwithepi.com. Also, be sure to sign up for our webinar mailing list at teachwithepi.com/webinars. On behalf of everyone at EPI, thank you for joining us and have a great day, everyone.